Alif Umar, month of March, lecture number 12.
Hazrat Umar Razila Ta'ala Anha wanted to resolve to conquer the Iraq because he realized that if Hira was to be held by the Muslims, then the next major important part, Madian, the Persian capital of the Iraqi province, must be captured. Therefore, he called for jihad all over the lands against the Persia. For this purpose, he also wrote letters to his allies and rallied them under his banner. Finally, an army of 20,000 men was prepared and was placed under the command of Hazrat Saad bin Abi Waqqas. Another major battle that occurred for this purpose was the Battle of Khadisha. In this battle, Muslim commander was Saad bin Abi Waqqas and the Persian commander was Rustam. Place of the battle is Khadisha. It is actually a little fortress on the western bank of the Atik. It is the size of the Euphrates. Before battle, Hazrat Saad Razila Ta'ala Anhu was firstly asked to invite the Persian king. For this reason, he sent his envoys towards the Persian king Yazgard. But Yazgard insulted the envoys and turned him out of his court. To teach the Muslims a lesson, Yazgard dispatched a large army under the command of Rustam. Rustam was too invited by the Saad bin Abi Waqqas and also to have a peaceful treaty, but he also denied. In this battle, Hazrat Saad bin Abi Waqqas instructed Muslim from his sick bed, as he was particularly very sick during the days of battle. Event of the battle. This battle took 3 days, and after a fierce battle, when Rustam was killed while fleeing from the battlefield, Persia's army retreated in panic, leaving behind a large booty for Muslims to collect. At the end, the military might of the Persian Empire broke, and Arab tribes no longer feel hesitated to fight against the Persia. Siege and capture of Madian. Hazrat Saad, after resting his troops, marched towards the sides of Madian with the intention to capture it. All the territory from the Euphrates to Tigris then came under the possession of the Muslims with the invasion of the Madian. The army defending the city fell back before the Muslim assault. They fled into the city and closed the gates. The Muslim captured the city after a siege and a brave assault by the troops. After this, the Persian king, who took refuge in the Hulwan, it is about 100 miles to the north of Madian. He once more ordered the Persian forces to advance for the reason of the capture of Madian. Therefore, they occupied a place, Jalula, which was in the neighborhood of the Madian. War preparations. The entire town was converted into a fortress and a deep ditch was dug around the town. It means they wanted the Muslims' army to be crushed under the Persians' army. Also, a large number of provisions were preserved in order to have a long siege. Event of the battle. Hazrat Saad sent a strong army to Jalula under the command of Kaka. The siege of Jalula stretched over the 7 months. Eventually, the Persians decided to counterattack and drive out the Muslims. The Muslims' commander pulled back his army so that the whole of the Persians' army could come into the field. Fierce fighting started, and in the afternoon, a severe storm started blowing into the Persian faces. Soon, the scene of the battle changed, and all the Persians fell back. They were killed in large numbers. The result, the residents of the Jalula surrendered on the usual terms of paying the jizya to the Muslims. Last was the Battle of Nahawand, which held with the Persians' army. Background. After the War of Jalula, Hazrat Umar did not want to have further conquest. He sought to consolidate Muslim rule in the lands already occupied, and a peace treaty was also signed with the Persians. However, the Persians broke the terms and marched with 60,000 men against the 30,000 Muslims. So, this battle occurred at Nahawand. Event of the battle: the two armies fought for 2 days, and on the third day, the Persians took refuge in their forts. By a clever strategy of the Muslims, the enemy was forced to come out of hiding, and hand-to-hand fighting took place, due to which the Persian might was shattered forever, and their emperor fled to Isfahan, then Kerman, and from there to Balkh. Later, he was killed during the Hazrat Osman's caliphate. This battle also proved to be a gateway to Persia in order to establish the Islamic Empire.